Hi guys, it's Lynn Van Nui, and sorry in advance for the poor lighting. It's really gray and rainy outside, so again, I'm filming with my softbox and it always seems to cast this orange glow on me. I'm not sure why. I'm not orange. But it's time for another storytime video. Before we get into this video, I just want to say quickly that next month's storytime video will be the first Sunday of the month, and it's going to be a juicy one. I can't legally discuss what it is right now, but it will be juicy, so stay tuned. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. You're gonna want to watch it. So anyway, this is a story time about my cats. For those of you that don't know, I have two cats. I have a 2-year-old calico cat. Her name is Tipsy, and we adopted her from a family that Will and I went to high school with, and we are actually, I think, the third family to have her. When I got her, I was under the impression that she was not microchipped, she was not neutered, but recently she has been quite sick. She had problems in her eyes where they swelled up, they were really red, they were pussing, and I just remember the first morning I woke up, both of her eyes were swollen and her one eye was like rolling back into her head. She couldn't quite get the one eye to function properly. So I immediately set up a vet appointment for her at a cat clinic that is local to my city, and I was actually on my way to work, so I had my mom come and pick her up and take her to the clinic for me. And unfortunately, that was right before Will and I left for our vacation, so they had administered eye drops for her. So my mother was coming over twice a day to feed the cats, clean the litter, and administer Tipsy's eye drops. She had to have 1 to 2 drops in each eye twice a day every 12 hours. So in the morning, my mom would come over and give her 2 drops in each eye, and then at night she would do the same thing 12 hours later. So my mom was doing that while Will and I were away on vacation, and she was keeping us up to date. And she wasn't getting better for a while. For a while she was getting a little bit worse. So my mom ended up taking her back to the cat clinic where they administered a second eye drop, which was of higher dosage. So now she is taking 2 separate eye drops, 1 to 2 drops of each eye drop in each eye every 12 hours. She's taking roughly 4 drops in the morning and roughly 4 drops at night, as well as a pill twice a day, 12 hours apart. And my mom could not get the pill in her. We have figured out a system. We got one of those pill plungers, swaddle her up in a blanket because she's a calico and she's already bitchy. So we swaddle her up in a blanket and we tilt her head back, and I pull her eye open gently, and I put 2 drops, 2 drops, switch to the other one, 2 drops, 2 drops, and then I pry her mouth open, which is honestly like the meanest thing ever. I feel so bad, but she needs to take these pills and she's super angsty. I pry her mouth open, and then Will has the pill plunger and he sticks the syringe to the back of her mouth and puts the pill in, and then I shut her mouth until she swallows, and then we let her go. She absolutely fucking hates us for it, but it's making her better, so I feel so bad about it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And then my second cat, Joey, we adopted him from a local rescue shelter for cats. I'm not gonna disclose the name here, but it is a local animal shelter specifically for cats, and it is not the SPCA. So I was following them on Facebook for a while. I follow all of the local cat pages as well as non-local cat pages, and they posted this picture of a mom cat and her 4 kittens. 2 of the kittens were black, 1 was a gray tabby, and 1 was an orange tabby. I, for the longest time, have wanted a black cat, specifically because they seem to not receive a lot of love from people because people are oddly superstitious about black cats, and I just love how black cats look. So I specifically wanted 1 of the 2 black kittens, and then Will wanted the gray tabby. So we were gonna get 2 kittens originally, but when I called, the gray tabby was already spoken for. So we went for a meet and greet to meet the 2 black kittens, and of the 2, we picked Joey. It was between him or his brother Jake. We picked Joey because he was a little more spunky and hyper and crazy and cuddly. The initial cost for adoption was $200, and that included the neuter and the first set of shots. We went for the meet and greet, we chose him, and then about a week later when I had the $200 to pay, we went, paid the money, and picked Joey up and brought him home. Because the $200 went to the cost of his neutering and first set of shots, I had tried to contact the shelter owner multiple times times in order to set up his neutering, which clearly he's now had done, hence the nice cone on his head, which he's super in love with. He actually doesn't mind too much, but he walks like a drunkard, which is funny. But he looks so cute. Right, Joey? Right. Because we paid that $200, I was very anxious to know when he was going to have his appointment. It was honestly one of the most difficult things trying to get a hold of the shelter owner. That being said, she runs the Facebook page, she answers the phone because it's her cell phone, and she texts because it's her cell phone. So you would think it would not be as hard as it is to contact her, but it is. I had tried multiple times to reach out through the Facebook page. I had called her multiple times and I had texted her multiple times. Every time she was extremely dodgy. Will was very, very pessimistic about the whole thing once we had gotten Joey and paid the $200 for him because it was so hard to get a hold of the shelter owner, and it seemed just so sketchy. So finally, while Will and I are on vacation, of course, I get a text from the shelter owner and she says, okay, the appointment will be set up for Sunday night at 5:30 p.m. At this point, I'm going to be back in town by then. We were coming home on the Saturday in the afternoon, so I was like, okay, it's fine. Will be gone all day, so he'll have to get rides and I'll just keep the car and I will take Joey to the vets. So I get to the vets. I sign Joey in and the receptionist tells me Joey cannot be seen because this particular shelter owner owes us money. So I'm like, okay, cool. As far as I knew, this shelter owner was going to be meeting me at the veterinary clinic. So I figured, okay, she'll show up, she'll pay the balance that she owes, and Joey will be taken in, not a problem. I said, okay, I'm going to call the shelter owner. I'm going to text her. As far as I knew, she was showing up, so it should be all good, problem solved. I call her, no answer. I leave a message saying, please call me back as soon as you get this. I then send her a very lengthy text message because I've been sitting and waiting for about 15 minutes now. Joey's sitting in the crate. He's not comfortable. He's a little bit worried because obviously he's in a strange place in this small crate, and I'm just very disgruntled at this point. Obviously, I'm not disgruntled at the receptionist because it's not her fault. She's just doing her job. And I said, I'm kind of in the same line of work. I'm a medical admin as well, so I understand where you're coming from. You're just doing as you're told. You're just reading what is there, because she kept apologizing over and over and over again. And I'm like, honestly, dude, like, not your fault. It's totally okay. Stop worrying about it. So anyway, I will read you guys the very lengthy text message that I sent. At 5:28, I said, okay, I'm here. Then at 6:18, almost an hour later, mind you, I've been sitting in this vet clinic. I said, I demand the $200 we paid for Joey to be refunded, as I was told that would cover the cost of his shots and neutering. Apparently you have an outstanding payment with the vet clinic and will not take further appointments with you until that amount is paid. I tried to reach you in regards to this, but as you failed to contact me, I want my $200 back. I will also be writing a thorough review if I don't see resolve from this. So I packed Joey up. I told the lady at the front desk, thank you so much for being patient with me, and I asked her information about the cost of neutering and vaccinations and all of that stuff, so I had that information in case I did have to pay on my own later down the line. Again, she was apologizing to me, and again I said, don't worry, not your fault. So 10:46 p.m. that same night. Hello Lynn, I'm going to be calling you. So sorry that vet clinic did that to you. It was a new girl with wrong info. Joey's surgery is still booked for tomorrow. You can bring him in and surgery is taken care of. I would have called you to let you know, but I was working at the colony and my cell phone dropped out of my purse in our volunteer's car. I can give you the $200 back if you like. I will not be referring anyone to that clinic as this has happened last time. Also, I forgot to mention, when I showed up to the vet clinic for Joey's appointment that was told to me by this shelter owner was at 5:30, it was at 4:30. So I showed up an hour late looking like an asshole because of this shelter owner. Did you guys hear my closet just like click? That was weird. Okay, so I said when tomorrow. My husband is working 8 to 6 and I work 12 to 8. So we're on different shifts. I drive Will to work in the morning, then I sit around in the morning and do my own thing, whatever. And then I go to work in the afternoon and Will either finds a ride home or he walks home. She said, also all rescues have accounts at their vets. Again, we are sorry for all of this. Can he get dropped at 7:30? They also open at 7. I also left word that you can sign the consent form when you bring him in. It's under Lynn. So no food after midnight, only water, thanks. So then I was like, I can take him in for 9:30, but if I get there and they refuse us, I'm going to be more than angry as I have things to do tomorrow morning, which I did. So then she said, okay, but he should be there for 7:30/8. I will call them in the morning as well. Surgery is in the morning and we have no idea how many surgeries they have. I said 7:30 is good. And she said, great. So then I get there. It's all peachy keen, whatever. She also pays for deworming for Joey. Later they call and they say, okay, everything went well. He's ready for pickup, blah, blah, blah. So I send my husband, Will, to go pick up Joey when he's done work. I told Will earlier that day that I said, if possible, please switch Joey's name under us because I want to be done with this rescue. So when he goes to like switch over Joey into like our name or whatever from the rescue place's name, he's told that we can't until Joey is paid for, like paid off and whatever by the rescue. So then yesterday morning she texted me and she's like, hi Lynn, how is Joey doing? And I said, hi, blah, 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 he's good. Not trying to pry, but we wanted to switch him under our name because he's under yours, but they said we can only do that once his bill has been paid. So then she said, when did you call? The bill was all paid off the other day. Tuesday it was paid. Who told you? This lady at the desk. I'm calling them now, thanks. So I'm like, this is when we picked him up, so I guess it's all good. Don't call. Like, please don't call. Don't start any more issues with the vet, because the first time we had issues when the vet refused Joey and I because the rescue had an outstanding balance with this particular vet. The rescue owner had called the vet and like reamed out the front desk and was like, blah, 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 like inappropriate for you to disclose that information, and I demand you give Lynn, me, an apology and all this stuff, and like basically tore them a new asshole. And she told me this on the phone, so like obviously I don't see it here in the text messages. She was like telling me all this and I'm like, what the fuck? So then I told Will, I'm like, honestly, like this lady is psychotic. Like definitely not the front desk person's fault. She was literally just telling me she couldn't and the reason why, which is normal. What is she gonna say if she's like, I can't give you what you're asking for, but I can't tell you why? Then obviously there's gonna be an issue. I'm like, this lady is psychotic. Like, I'm so done working with this rescue place, which is really unfortunate because obviously it's a great thing that we have Joey and that they're trying to improve cats' lives, but she's honestly so difficult to work with and she's like psychotic. So then I'm like, yeah, don't call, because obviously I don't want her to be psychotic to them again. And she's like, yeah, she has no right to tell you that at all. Boy, not one thing but another, thanks. And I said, well, I asked my husband to ask them about switching us to the owner and they were just explaining why they couldn't. And she said, oh, that's okay, lady at desk messed up the bill too. That's the wrong info, only I do that because of people trying to scoop a cat when they only foster. Boy, so sorry for all of this. Lynn, I will call them to let them know you are the new owners, okay? And I said, okay. So that's the last thing I heard. Also, when Will went to pick Joey up from the vets, they told him that he was teeming with live fleas. So now not only do I have all those other problems with the rescue, so if you hear thunder in the background, now my kitten is teeming with fleas, which he's obviously probably given to Tipsy. I haven't noticed any difference in anything. Like, I don't feel itchy or anything, but Will says he feels itchy. I don't know if he's just making that up and it's like a placebo effect, but I don't feel any difference. Obviously, if one cat has fleas, then the other cat probably has fleas as well. So now I have to set them up with appointments for them both to get flea treatments, as well as pay for Joey's boosters and 4-week boosters after the next set of boosters. And then I also, depending on how Tipsy's progressing in her sickness, may have to take her back to the vet again. She's doing a lot better than she was at first, but she's still not 100%, and it's been 2 weeks now, and her eyes are still swollen, still goopy, still a little bit irritated, but like I said, definitely better than they were. So yeah, that's my story about all of the cat troubles I've been experiencing as of late. Pets are expensive, but I love cats so much. And obviously I'm so glad that we have Joey, regardless of the fact that we had to deal with that psychotic lady who runs the rescue, because obviously Joey is in a loved and safe place and we love him very much. And I'm the type of person where, yeah, it sucks that they're costing me so much money at this particular moment, but I would literally do anything that I could to keep them safe and healthy, and I love them so much. So obviously I'm a little bit stressed about this because there's been so many problems lately and I'm a struggling young adult. I only have so many funds. My husband only has so many funds. But obviously I'm gonna do everything within my power to make sure that they're loved and cared for and healthy and living the best life that they can live, because I just love them so much. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this story time about how crazy it has been being a cat mom for me the last 2 weeks or so. Give it a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are the parent of a pet or you have pets in your family, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know all about your pets, their name, what type of animal there are, and also, like I said before, please stay tuned for the next storytime video. Storytime videos always go up the first Sunday of every month, and like I said, next month is going to be hella juicy, so hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications so you are aware of when I post it. Also, don't forget to follow me on all my social media pages. A link down below for you guys to check out. You can follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all that good stuff. And until next time, keep shining. Bye guys.